Welcome, good people, to episode 5 of the Mastermind Podcast. I'm your humble host, Chris, and I'm going to get right into it. The topic today, guys, is the Michael Jackson bio movie. Came out last week on April 24th, and I'm going to give my movie review here. Um, Excited about this. Michael Jackson was one of my favorite artists growing up. Grew up on his music. I mean, we got Thriller, we got Bad, we got You Are Not Alone. We got classics from this guy, and he was a musical genius in my opinion. Um, but first off, before I get into it, if you've not seen the movie, please pause the video and then you watch the movie. You can come back and listen to the playback. I don't want to spoil anything for you, but I'm going to give some spoilers in this review here. So first of all, first off, the nephew, Jafar Jackson, did a really great job. He had Michael Jackson's voice inflection, his tone, his mannerisms. All his dance moves were crisp and on point. He did a really great job. I pray he gets like an Oscar or something like that for this performance. He did really good. Um, so first off, the story started off in Gary, Indiana, as we all know. That was where Michael Jackson and his family were born and raised and grew up at. Um, his his dad was a disciplinarian. His dad was pretty much hated by him and his brothers because from all stories that were shown throughout the years of the Jackson family, they really didn't have much of a childhood to him in particular. They would come from school. There's one scene where they came from, I think, performing. They had to go to bed to go to school the next day. And his father, Joe Jackson, said, "No, we gotta go rehearse. We gotta go rehearse." Um, and then there was one scene where Michael went against his father's wishes and he beat him with his belt. So but on the flip side, though, Michael Jackson, he got that um, discipline in his music through his father. Like there was stories that he would stay up all night, get up early, just writing music or doing music. Uh, there, there's stories of him having making albums that may have been maybe like 12 songs, but he recorded like 50 to 70. Like he was a perfectionist. And he would just pick like the best 10 or 12 to release them to the public. So he was a great artist. Uh, so what stood out to me about the film was one thing that stood out to me in general, even knowing Michael Jackson growing up, was I felt he was really lonely. Felt the only time he really felt free was when he was performing, when he was dancing and singing. When he got interviewed, he didn't seem free, like he felt restricted, like he couldn't tell too much. And in the movie, in fact, in real life, he bought like exotic animals, like he bought a giraffe and a monkey in the film that was his friend and all this. So I think that was due to his loneliness that he was dealing with. Um, but again, he put that passion into his music, right? And helping people. He was a great philanthropist as well. People that don't know, when he got his hair burnt, he gave the insurance money to that whole hospital to help those children. He did a lot of philanthropic work throughout his life. Even when he was alive, like we noticed he did a lot of that stuff. Uh, and then, like I mentioned before, the big tension rather, was between him and his father. Like he was afraid to fire him. He had to get a lawyer to do that. He was afraid to tell him things to his face. And I guess that all stemmed up from growing up, that fear of getting beat whenever he went against him. Um, so really great movie. It ended in 1988 during the Bad tour. For those that don't know, Bad, it was I think his third album after he left the Jackson Five group. It was Off the Wall was the first album. Second one was Thriller, as we all know. The third was Bad. So I thought it would end maybe closer to the end of his life, but that's what it ended, and that's why they're talking about doing a sequel. I'm hearing news that They do the Michael 2. So I assume they could do a sequel that goes throughout the 90s, which deals with obviously a lot of the controversial issues he was dealing with the molestation cases and all that. How he owed Sony Music money. He owned half of Sony Records, but then he had some debts he had to pay off, which why he was going to go on that This Is It tour in 2009 before he unfortunately passed away. Now on to the death. The death of Michael Jackson was always controversial to me. Uh, the gentleman that killed him, Dr. Conrad Murray, he did an interview after he was released from prison, and it didn't make much sense what he was saying. He basically was saying like Michael did it to himself, and he knew about the drug he was giving him, that it was too much, but he gave it to him anyway because he's Michael Jackson. So it was really funny. And the fact that Michael Jackson owned part of Sony, half of Sony Records, I think they wanted him out the way. Personally, I, so they sent this guy in to kill him. This didn't seem, it seemed really shady. His whole death seemed like a big conspiracy to me. Anyway, right now the Michael Jackson estate is run by his lawyer James Blanca, who was critical to the movie, firing Joe Jackson and handling a lot of Michael Jackson's business and legal affairs. Uh, but yeah, in conclusion, I recommend you guys go see the movie. It was really good. You feel a lot of nostalgia, just listening to a lot of old music like Billie Jean, like Bad, Thriller. I mean, it was really good, and the nephew Gunn did a really great job. So that being said, pray you have a blessed night. Stay tuned for the next episode of the Mastermind Podcast. And with that being said, peace and God bless.